Yeah. Hello, fine gents and germs out there. Welcome to another Thursday night, Blurred Minds Movie Militia. And I usually introduce myself as the host, but I think it's gotten to the point now where we are the two-headed tandem. I am Jay Wall the Jerk. And who are you, my friend?
Man, I ain't got nothing special as far as my name. I'm just plain old Derek, bro.
Derek, or as I like to call him, the warrior husband. Most badass wedding I've ever been a part of to this day, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely,
we try to do.
Absolutely. So, as y'all seen on the thumbnail and on the banner scrolling, tonight's movie topic is 28 Days Later, the 2003 zombie apocalypse movie. Is that a fair way to describe it?
Yeah.
I feel like they're not exactly a zombie, really, like traditionally. You know what I mean? But I feel like as far as a genre, maybe it fits in there.
Well, most zombies fall under something that we just recently went through, and that's a pandemic apocalypse.
Yeah.
So that's what I would mainly see it as.
Absolutely. I look at it the same way, my friend, the same way. That's wild, dude. I forgot that this came out in 03. I was a sophomore in high school.
Damn.
Fucking like it doesn't seem that long ago.
I was a freshman, I believe.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, sophomore, freshman, like the funny thing is, I remember when you wanted to do this one, I thought at first, thinking back, because it's been probably when it was, like recently new that I've watched it actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this is going to be the one where we probably don't really see eye to eye on the movie. Like, I don't remember liking it back then. I remember thinking it was crazy, you know what I mean? But I didn't really remember thinking that I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like you just got a movie you haven't seen forever and you try to kind of remember your thoughts on it,
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was at. I was like, I don't know if I felt like I remembered it being slow when you first initiated it. You know what I mean? Like just my thought when you plugged it last week, I was like, I feel like it was too slow for me.
I think that's the pacing for it at the beginning was very slow, and then it was like a slow build up and just kept getting faster and faster as the movie went on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it ramped up. Actually, thinking about it, of course, we'll go, we'll try to get through there, not as quick, but just thinking about just the ending of it real quick. That's probably one of the most strategically placed, like climactic scenes in a movie. You know what I mean? Like as far as like from when it really kicks off crazy to when it ends. I mean, I think, it doesn't drag too far after it gets hot and heavy. You know what I mean? And I think I appreciated that. You know what I mean? Because I usually like a movie, like you get to like the shits, like the craziest thing. Then you got like 30, 45 minutes left. And it's like, like you should have entered it 20 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? You drug it too long, But I appreciated like how they ramped it, like you were saying, how they ramped it up,
Yeah.
But, dude, what a fucking way to come into and kick off a fucking movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would have to say it's one of the best openings, and I honestly, I've told people this before. Like, you look at The Walking Dead, especially the first season, and a lot of the graphic novels, I argue, took inspiration from this movie and how it was written. Because I believe, let me look and see when the first Walking Dead.
It couldn't have been
like
too many years after
graphic
that.
novel.
Oh, the graphic novel. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what it was based off of.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see when it originally
Was
started.
28 Days a novel first? 28 Days Later?
I don't know.
Matter of fact, while you're looking that up, like I don't
Well,
have Google.
hey, the Walking Dead graphic novel, the first one, came out. He started it early 2003, but it wasn't published until the end of 2003.
Okay. All right. So it was kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Okay. Let me see if I can see something here. There is a novel, 28 Days Later, by Alex Garland. I'm trying to see when it came out. Let's see if I can just find that real quick here. So it's kind of like it was so close though that no, okay, never mind. Okay,
Yeah, the
so
graphic novel was made after the movie.
yeah, the aftermath.
Yeah.
Yeah, '07. All right, so never mind on that end. But so it's so close. It's almost like. Do you think they did take the cues from 28 Days Later? Or do you
Uh,
think it was just like really, what's crazy is so close, it's almost like one of the writers kind of already knew what something else was coming down the pipe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like already heard the concept somewhere else at a party or something.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like he probably saw advertisements because he said he started writing it at the beginning of 2003, and you can change like in the process of producing it, you can change a lot of things. He may have had the concept and like how the story was going to go, and then whenever he saw 28 Days Later, he revised it. It was like, oh, that's a good idea. He wakes up out of a coma, everyone's fucking just gone, and he's running around in a hospital gown, his butt cheeks flapping in the wind, that sort of shit. And then,
Dude, I give the actor kudos too because the opening scene when they show him in the hospital bed, he's full frontal nude.
yeah,
Got his short stroker just laying there lifeless as he is. Kind of
mm-hmm.
wild. Kind of wild. I tell you though, dude, that how crazy would that fucking be, man? Your last memory is some shit happened that like you end up in a hospital and you wake up and it's just fucking ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be fucked up enough to wake up in an empty hospital,
Yeah,
let alone an empty world. But how many people does it take to run a hospital? There's people fucking all over the place 24/7, and just nobody knows beepers and noises and shit going off. That would be nuts. Because I mean, think about a
dead
hospital, it's
silent.
noisy as fuck. All the
Yeah,
machines and all the fucking AC units and the blah. I mean, it's just all constant something.
yeah,
I mean,
it'd be that's the thing. It'd be that eerily quiet, like
and wait a
the.
second, I never got into it too much, but isn't that how the first episode of The Walking Dead started? Wasn't he in the hospital?
That's what I'm saying. Like how The Walking Dead in general starts, like both the TV show and the graphic novel. He wakes up from a coma. Well, it was a induced coma because he got shot. But regardless, like he wakes up in the hospital. There's no one around. Like the hospital is dead empty.
Yeah.
Uh, the only thing he sees that is strange is a door that's chained shut, and it said "dead beyond here" or "dead." The dead are in here, and then he goes outside and starts seeing like you know uh, just an empty town. And the first zombie he sees is uh, I think it. it was the one that was crawling on the ground because he was riding a bike, and or he whenever he went to go steal the bike, it was there's this zombie that was cut in half, sitting on the ground next to it. And that's the first zombie he sees, and he freaks out over it.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, even though the graphic novel came out close to the 28 Days Later movie, I think cinematically and the way they set up scenes and shit, they definitely took cues in the show from the movie for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, like you said, I mean, they pretty much started the fucking show exactly the way they started the movie.
Oh yeah,
fucking nuts. I think one of the best pictures fucking ever comes from the beginning of this movie too. Actually, hold on a second. Let me not jump the gun too much, because like you said, the first zombie he sees is the chick in half in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But in this movie, the first kind of signs that he sees is when he walks in a church, and he's got all those dead bodies in the fucking pulpit and shit, and then he screams out, "Hello!" And then it's fucking on and popping from there, son.
Yeah, it's like three of them pop up from the pews.
Yeah, nuts. And then the first zombie he encounters, the priest, and that's wild too. And think about that too. What I mean, that's kind of a, if you think about it, somewhat of a realistic view. If you go in there and the town's empty and the hospital's empty and like you don't know what the fuck's going on, first place you went to was a church. And the funny thing is, if you see everybody in the pulpits, that was a lot of people's idea when it was going down.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, like, I got big into that zombie survival shit, and like I talked to a lot of people about it, and it kind of overlaps into, you know, living out somewhere and surviving.
Yeah.
What's up, Ert?
What up? How you doing, Derek?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Man, working, taking care of myself, man. Next month will be a whole year living by myself. And I just came back from the laundromat, and after a year, I am a capable housewife.
There you go. You've been domesticated, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna get you a United Hard Hats of America apron, my friend.
Yeah. I'm about to make me a salad. Put some little baked chicken in it. But I heard the topic of tonight's show, the movie, one of my favorites, and holy shit, fucking scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the very last scary movie I've seen that truly terrified me. And it's awesome. Like very well done.
But before I pass you in, Eric, Derek was speaking on there was a time where he really got like in depth on this like the zombie apocalypse thing. So I just wanted you to elaborate more on that as you were speaking.
Yeah, well, it kind of overlaps into just surviving in general.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things you talk about the places to avoid are religious centers, because in times of crisis or fear, the religious people are going to go to their temples, their churches, that type of stuff. Hospitals, because they're going to be overrun with people seeking help for being just the slightest injuries to damn near death or they're dead. Then you got to look at police stations, fire stations, all these emergency service areas. Stay away from those because people are going to crowd them. Stay away from the big box store areas. People are going to be crowding them and looting them. You're more likely going to get shot by a fellow human than, whatever's going on is going to kill you.
Right.
I've always said that in an apocalyptic scenario, like if you're like apocalyptic scenario, day one, where is the first place you're going? Go.
Fort Boonesboro.
Fort Boonesboro. Nice.
Okay, so let me rephrase. As far as supply, there is no money, no need for money. Chaos is rampant in the street. Where are you going?
If as a person I really wouldn't say paranoid, but prepared. If you don't have at least 3 months of rationed food in your house, including med kits, certain firearms, enough ammo to last you, you're not prepared, then you're
You're
screwed.
done. You're done.
You're good. Yeah. There's these things called bug out bags. I got one prepared for me, and I got one prepared for my wife. So it's just
So, is it a bad idea, like on day one, first thing I think I would go, first place I think I would go is to like my local CVS, Walgreens.
yeah. That is a terrible idea. You'll probably get either shot or stabbed, man. That's just like that's you're gonna get in some altercation as it is, because there's
Yeah.
gonna be rioters and looters. You know that.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Oh, horrible! Because you put just normal human nature of trying to gain supplies to survive, and you throw in crippling fear on top of that, people are going to be very dangerous. And
Yeah.
whether you get what you need or they eat their next meal, that choice is easy for them. And if that means killing you, they won't even blink twice at it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I always tell people after I kind of got a little bit hip to some background noise and some things going on, I was like, that's when I stopped talking to my neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, I was like, so there might be any day that I'm gonna need what they got more than they do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I tell you though, my honest answer for wherever I would go if some shit would break loose is first honest, real answer, no matter if it makes sense or not. If she's not with me, wherever my daughter's at, I'm gonna try like hell to find her, get her. That's my numero uno. If I got to die on the way, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really, if I what the fuck kind of father and man are you if the shit broke the fan and your kid wasn't with you and you didn't try to get to her? I mean, I could be 5 foot away from the most impeccable place you could ever be, paradise, and I could be 2 hours away from her. I'm taking a 2-hour trek. It just is what it is, you know. But outside of that, if I do have, or if I can get to it relatively quick without a lot of issues, I'm going to the most remote location closest to where I'm at that I know of to try to at least get everybody out of
Come to
Dodge.
Fort Boonesboro. I got you.
My shit hit the fan. Rallying spot is my ex-wife's house.
Nice. So you can get shot when you're coming through the door.
For real.
Luckily, we don't have that type of relationship.
Right.
But like you said, my first absolute mission will be getting to my children.
Yeah, that's
nothing else matters.
Yeah, I don't think of it. I can't see me not. You know what I mean? Like I can't, because like I said, the funny thing is, I was scared to death years ago about just some wild shit I was into and reading, and I was mortified by the thought of bringing a child into this world, considering what could go down. And then the funny thing was, I was very comfortable with what my actions may have to be depending on worst case scenario situations. But then as soon as I looked at that little baby face, that bald headed little baby, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna die if it goes down real quick. You know what I mean? It ain't what I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be actually more dangerous and ruthless than I was gonna be beforehand. But the bad thing is, I know that I would jump in front of a grenade if it means she gets farther down the road. You know what I mean? So it's just honestly exactly what we've seen in this movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
When you think about
there is a definite point and a few characters in this movie that entail that.
It's something really profoundly psychological, knowing that you're fighting death in the sense of just trying to survive, but at the same time your death is coming after you in the form of zombie, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That like it's like a it's like a double impact to your psyche, if you ask me.
Oh, it definitely adds an extra weight of stress to your life. I mean, you'd be pretty much at that point constantly living in a war zone. You never know if you're going to be alive for the next 5 minutes or not.
Yeah, that's why I like that scene where they found that little camp for the night, and the chick, she fell asleep with no problems, and they were like, "We can't sleep." He woke her up. He said, "Hey, how the hell are you going to sleep?" And she hands him a bottle of Valiums. It's like, yeah, like I think in a situation like that, the only way I could probably actually lay down and really knock out would either be just like my body just completely gave up and I had no say in the matter, or drugs or a lot of booze. I'd be pounding fucking gallon jugs of whiskey just to fucking fall asleep. I don't know how you could turn your mind off. You know what I mean?
That fear and that adrenaline would be a constant rush. So
yeah,
I mean,
and go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just saying that there's a lot of factors that go into it. I mean, you look at people that live in or stay in a combat zone for weeks, if not months at a time. I mean, look at World War One, the soldiers fighting in the trenches. They became they called shell shock. Eventually became PTSD, but they spent months there getting just hammered by artillery, and
Yeah.
they came out strange. Their body has pretty much become deformed. They it was not healthy, and it will lead you into an early grave if whatever is trying to kill you doesn't kill you first.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. 3 years ago, I cut on the TV and I hear lockdowns. And it triggered something in my brain so hard, dude. I sound the alarms through my whole house. I thought my family was gonna have to pack me up and take me to the nut house, the way they were looking at me. Like I was like, yo, this is not something that's supposed to happen over here. This is bad news. I've read about this. I've heard about this. Sound the motherfucking alarm. And my wife, I'm like, we gotta go. We got to get the fuck up out of here before it's too late. And she's looking at me like, motherfucker, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and so does your ass. I knew then. I was like, man, if the shit really does hit the fan, if I actually can pack this motherfucker out of this house, I'll get shot dragging her out of the fucking house. She'll still be watching the fucking Kardashians while I'm trying to drag her out and save her.
Come on, woman, we gotta go.
Yeah, fuck your goddamn DVR. We got to get the hell out of here.
That's where you just put a round through the fucking TV. Like, you ain't watching that no more.
The funny thing is, I got so deep into that for a minute that the spawning of Blurred Minds Media actually was my move back into sanity. And the way I look at it was nestling myself back into the Matrix. Because I was ready to fuck a phone, fuck a computer. I'm gone.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
Oh, shit. And now look at me. All these days later, we're still doing a podcast. And I got these frames for free from Toyota. And with these frames and the way my hair grows, I look like somebody's grandmother. So, we've made it this far from the apocalypse. I think we can keep it moving a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, there are some grandmothers that grow facial hair. So,
well, yeah, especially if they got a mole. That's a guaranteed facial hair.
Big ass fucking mole.
A whole facial mole. I'm in the Guinness book. Holy shit. Well, as we do on every show, we off the rails.
Zombie apocalypse scenario. Your must-have go-to weapon.
Crossbow. The only reason I feel like that is because every now and then I can retrieve my ammo.
Go-to
I can't retrieve a bullet and put it back in the gun, but I can put an arrow back in that motherfucker if I can dig it out of your head.
I would honestly say some sort of small riot shield and a homemade mace.
Mm. What says you, Irk? Tongs for salad tossing. This is like a double
Stab
movie.
someone in the face with it.
This is a double show. It's a movie review show / cooking with Irk. Like shit, we all over the place tonight. I love it.
Yeah.
If I could have like twin machetes.
Twin machetes. I'm
lightweight,
jealous. That would never do me any good.
Yeah.
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 I also do like the thought of
that would now, of course, that would be like a weapon that I would use if, like, in a scenario where I ran out of ammo.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, that's the only thing I have. Like, that's the type of weapon I'm talking about. The weapon that if you have nothing else left and you're pulling out this because it's been there with you from the very beginning. Mace, homemade mace is absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
You
gotta build your weapon to what you're fighting, and if by stereotypical means, the only way to truly kill a zombie is penetrate the brain. One of the best weapons doing that is a bludgeoning object. So against soft tissue and most likely just a protruding skull, one quick hit to the head, done. Lock them up with the shield. Be done with.
That's why I was going to say as well. If it wasn't the crossbow, my secondary and my secondary from the crossbow, right to your point, was in my mind has always been an aluminum little league bat.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the biggest issues with those bats though is after a certain amount of hits, they're more prone to weaken and break.
Yeah,
they're not meant to bing upside of the head 200 times.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I just love the size of the little league one specifically.
Yeah,
because I can whip that motherfucker so quick. I'm talking
one hand.
Yeah, so quick. But you are right. I've cracked baseball bats in games, so I definitely know that is definitely a problem.
Be honest, sir. I see you using some sort of like quarterstaff or spear. Just doing it from a little bit of get out of their reach and just be like poking them right in the forehead with it. Just
yeah, I almost bought a spear, a tactical spear.
Hell yeah!
I looked at it. I was like, I wanted to buy it for a minute. Like I was looking at it for a while. I was like, I think I need this.
Dude, I actually got a halberd, a battle-ready halberd coming in. I got it custom made for me.
A halberd?
Halberd.
Look at this.
That would be perfect. That would. I told you that's what I see you using.
Perfectly, nicely balanced. Hold on. I gotta find that center point.
There it is.
Hell yeah.
See, called it. I told that's what I see you using. Just be stabbing motherfuckers in the forehead with it.
Yeah, and the dope thing about that is too, if you're good with it enough, you can fucking chuck at some bitch if you need to catch somebody running. Somebody take off with your canned goods while you're taking the shit around the corner. Whack!
Hell no.
You motherfucker. I like that's what I like, but see, that's like my throw to the crossbow, which I'm sure there's better weapons. I think that would actually be a better weapon. But I like the thought of a projectile, but that I could retrieve.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean?
Any
'Cause
sort
like I
of
said,
bow
when
or
it comes to
crossbow would be good.
bullets are nice until they're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing
And
about a crossbow is, I mean, you can practically make ammo for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's silent.
Fairly easy. Easy.
That's why when it comes to firearms in a situation like this, I would honestly like some kind of a assault rifle style 22.
Mm-hmm.
You will never run out of 22 bullets in America.
You can pack your fucking pockets
22.
with thousands of them if you got to do it in a hurry. B, it's not too loud, so if you need to kind of handle some business but not draw too much attention to yourself, that 22 pop is not too incredibly loud, and it's lightweight, and you can pick off small game with it. You know, like it's like really probably a more sturdy one would be like a Henry 22. But I'm thinking if you got to fire off multiple shots, you might want, you know, something with a longer mag. You know, to me, with that is if you're in a situation where you got to get some shit off of you quick, you can, but you could also still potentially, you know, knock down a squirrel or something here and there, you know.
Yeah, you got to have a 22 long. You got to have a 22 rifle because, like I said, it's before Obama, you could practically never run out of fucking 22 bullets.
Yeah.
You know, now everybody's hiding them and hard to find, but I mean now it's fairly easy since he left office. But the thing is, that's the all-American round, like 22.
Everyone's got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I actually got something in my bug out bag. It's a collapsible 22 rifle. It's the barrel's only about, I think it's like 16 inches long, and the whole body, you know, firing mechanism, everything in stock folds into the barrel. It weighs only about 2.5, almost 3 pounds, and it can slide it in any pouch.
Fuck yeah. That's badass.
Good for hunting and stuff like that. But you always want to have at least one firearm on you bigger than 22 to handle the
400,
most.
just 400.
Would
you agree? Would you agree just to have a firearm just for hunting?
Oh yeah, that's what the 22 is for.
Or is that overkill? Like,
no, that's what my 22 is for. I would keep something larger for the most dangerous creatures on this planet, and that's humans.
Human beings, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So when it comes to that scenario, what's your favorite thing to have on you, or you would think? For me, always going to be the 12 gauge. I like it. And when you're in a rush, in a hurry, if your aim ain't too on point, if you can at least wing the motherfucker to slow him down, it might give you another shot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my biggest thing with any type of shotguns is, the ammo is very plentiful. It's also extremely heavy compared to other ammo.
Yeah.
And most shotguns only hold like anywhere, if you're lucky, 6 rounds, or if they got an extension tube on it, you're looking at 8.
Yeah.
So
give me a 22 rifle modified into a semi-automatic, and I'm gonna do business. I'm gonna shoot you in your ankle. It's gonna come out your neck.
Hell yeah. Man, I'm gonna go with I either have I'd use my 9mm pistol on my hip, and have my 5.56 rifle with at least 6 mags fully loaded on my chest. So
hell yeah.
I just keep that slung and be minding my own business. You know, someone decides they want to take my ravioli for the day, they're gonna get popped.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Simple as that. Yeah. Simple as that. So basically, like we said, you know, the beginning of this joint, we was talking, Irk, you know, how would you feel? What do you think about that, dude? Waking up in an empty ass hospital. Irk.
Waking up in an empty ass hospital.
Waking up in an empty ass hospital. That's how, you know, that's how the movie jumps off. What kind of What do you think would be going through your mind at that point?
First of all, I hate hospitals.
Right.
But it's they're necessary. They're a necessity. But at the same time, I hate them. And if I was to wake up in a hospital by myself and it's completely empty, that's my PTSD that you're talking about, my friend, right there. That's my fucking fallout moment. I'm gonna lose my mind off top because I know there should be people here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I the only one here? And I wake up to that. Oh man, the rest of my day's fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd lose it. I lose
my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, he wakes up in an empty hospital. First place he goes is the church. He comes to find out not even the father was the priest. I mean, he was exempt from the shit. So then this is one of my favorite damn fucking pictures that came from this movie right here. He ends up running into a couple people that don't have the sickness, and they seem like they're kind of built for the shits. So they're throwing these Molotovs, man. But I love this fucking picture right here.
He is
that shit's
freaking
wild,
out,
man. Fucking crazy. And he meets two people. Now, unfortunately, I ain't got a picture drummed up of the dude, but he didn't last too long because he got infected. And this lady right here made short order of him. I love that scene though, man. When she finds out her partner's sick and she goes straight to hacking him up with no second thought.
Yeah.
That's when you know the shit was real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she looked him right in his eye and she knew, oh, I gotta do it. It's over. Yeah. And she just went right in on it.
And he even tried, like, hold on, wait, like tried to beg for his life a little because he knew exactly what she was going to do because just that reaction, it shows that he would have done the same thing if the roles were reversed.
Yeah. And what kind of fucked up scenario is that? Where you could be riding with somebody, they save your life, you save them, they keep you alive, y'all are eating together, surviving, and as soon as they catch that fucking virus, you ain't got no choice. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like in that situation, I would like to say this is what I'd do. I'd probably blow my own brains out, so no one else would have to do that. When it came to that situation, like if it actually did happen, I might not. You never know. But I have always said, like, if I ever got infected like that and it became between me enjoying the last few moments of my life or the safety of the group I'm running with, I'm gonna paint the ceiling. I'm gonna take destiny in my own hand, make it happen.
I'm not letting the motherfucker bite me. I'm going to keep one bullet for myself. I'm not letting the motherfucker bite me. If I get to the point where I feel like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to escape, no.
Yep.
Man,
you're not gonna take a chunk out of me, and that's the last thing I feel. No.
That or go out like a boss, fucking get you a big old can of propane, and walk out into the group of them and just fucking strike a road flare.
Right.
Go. Take out a few of them with you.
Honestly, throughout the movies, that's always been to me one of the most badass characters. Like the dude that'll like jump on the grenade or fucking just like fly the rocket ship into some fucking bullshit, or you know what I mean? Like there's always a couple movies where there's like a dude that just says, "Fuck it, this is how we're gonna end this shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like those characters that take control of their own death.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm dying, but I'm gonna die on my own terms in this situation. It's like I'm either gonna save everyone around me, or I'm gonna take some of these motherfuckers with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
I've come to terms with I'm gonna die. Might as well do something useful with it.
Right? Might
Make
as well
it a
just set
memory.
it off. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And that's the wild thing. I like early on, the female character, she pretty much told me, she's like, man, it's all fucked up out here. The only thing that you can do is just stay alive. That's your only hope.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fucking mind state to be in. Your only thing is just
Survive.
live another day.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild, man. So what did you think when you watched this, like when it first came out, Derek? I mean, like when you first seen it, as far as every zombie movie you've seen up to this one, and then you saw this one. I mean, what was your feeling when you watched it? You know what I mean?
The best way I could put it is it completely terrified me because I could see it happen. Because the main two factors is one, fuck animal rights activists,
Right.
like PETA, fuck them, and two, it is nothing but a amped up rabies virus, so very plausible.
Yeah.
And that is where it was truly scary. Like it was very plausible, and you can see it happen in real life.
And think about that. All movies start off bad with these animal rights fucks. Cujo, Planet of the Apes, 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Please, let's do Cujo one day.
I'm down for
that dog. That dog destroys my nightmares. He come. I'll have nightmares, and then out of nowhere, he'll just barge in like, "Yeah, motherfucker, here comes worse." like amazing fucking movie at the. Just crazy fucking scenario. Holy shit, you're trapped because of a fucking dog will not leave you the fuck alone. But I digress. I apologize.
I think your childhood feelings of Cujo are mine of Child's Play, because I still don't really fuck with Chucky. Can't stand it.
I'm sorry. I thought Chucky was one of the worst scary movies of all time.
Oh, it probably is.
I hated it because it was just. I'm like, why are people scared of a fucking doll? Toss that bitch in the fucking oven and turn it on 550 for 10 hours. See what happens.
Right? I think my thing was like, one of my dad's friends was babysitting me when him and my mom went out when I was like a little ass kid. And he decided that was the movie that I should watch. And I think the fact that I was a little kid and like every time I went around, there was still like kids with dolls everywhere. It was like, it became really real.
Is this one possessed? Is this one
Derek,
possessed?
how did you feel
about little sister come up with a dolly? I'm like, get that fucking thing away from me.
Derek, how did you feel about Nightmare on Elm Street?
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. The golden age of horror movies. You talk about all these other people. Freddy Krueger is a masterfully well done horror villain. He takes away the one thing you have to do, and eventually, like you said earlier, Jay Wall, you got to go to sleep. Your body will make you do it, and he just waits. He waits.
That's why I love. I'm sorry for going. I'm sorry for going off the rail, but like the characters within those movies that knew about Freddy, and knew like the only way that he could get them was falling asleep, and those motherfuckers tried their best to stay up.
Yeah.
Stay awake.
Yeah, and he was just coming for you. Like it was an inevitable thing, and that is truly terrifying. So like I said, out of the golden age of horror movies, Freddy was the top dog. He always will be in my book.
Yeah, like you said, I thought too, the concept of Freddy, like you said, in your dreams, It was just way more creative than like the slashers. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary enough. Yeah, a big old crazy fucker that nobody seems to be able to kill is walking through your neighborhood with a knife. Yeah, scary. Yeah, maybe, but you can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if Jason's not on your street, you can go to sleep. You be all right. He ain't there. But this motherfucker, you could be on vacation, and this son of a bitch is right there with you. That's that. Like I said, I thought that was way more creative than the Michael Myers, the Jasons. You know, I think those movies are only good for, I would say, to me, Jason, the first one, just because it's kind of like, to me, it's more like a cult classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
at the time, the concept was good too. I mean, this mentally ill individual, his intent, which is one of the most dangerous things humans can do, because if you intend to do something, by most human standards, you're going to do your best to make it happen. And his intent was to inflict pain and fear on people, and he did it to the best of his ability.
yeah,
That's why the first one was the best. After that, they all just kind of they ran off a name.
Yeah. And then eventually he ended up in space. I'm like, come on, motherfucker. Come on.
Hey, man, I'd say I have to give props to that movie for one simple scene. They put him in a hologram room, and they have two girls like get naked and start trying to seduce him. And they crawl in some sleeping bags. He ends up taking those sleeping bags and uses them as clubs and just fucking kills them. It's like, nah, man, be gone, thought. Just like, get them titties out of my face. I'm gonna kill something.
Yeah, right.
Dude, when I saw that movie in the theaters, I fucking died laughing in my chair when that
your
happened.
hourglass shape does not tempt me. Die, whore.
I was like, hell yeah, that's a true alpha male right there. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's like, vagina? No, murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to penetrate you, but it's not the way you think I'm going to do.
And speaking of penetrating and things like this and naked girls, here comes our favorite troll in the comments section. Naked HD XYZ. Jerk off. What is ADV? Advantage? Advertise? Whatever it wants to be. It's our fucking show. So I'm going to say jack off adventure. Wet girls are here. So we appreciate you always in the comments section.
You're headed towards the big time.
Yeah, they're always here. They're always showing us love. Oh, and here we go. Here's the usual one. Online strips without clothing. We all know that's Apocalypse's favorite segment of this show. And, why not keep it going for him? But outside of that, what are we even fucking talking about? We got on Jason and titties, and where are we at with it?
Ruthlessness, I guess, because we were talking about how that old girl just fucking just fucking exactly without a second thought, just fucking with no hesitation.
Yeah. And speaking of her, this was another thing that I felt like that seemed eerily similar. Doesn't her character seem like a character we've seen in The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah,
Michonne, I love you, Michonne.
So I think that's another. I think that's some more shit that they fucking took. So what would you call it? Motivation? No.
You would say The Walking Dead took.
That's what I was telling Jay Wall earlier. I think The Walking Dead ripped a ton of stuff from 28 Days Later.
Yeah,
I will argue that, and I've argued it with people that are big, like Walking Dead fans.
And dude, going back to watching it tonight, because like I said, I wrapped it right before we got the show going. Yeah, dude, like not eerily similar, like blatantly jacked. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the opening scene, I believe this character, I believe all day long, the chick with the dreads, with the fucking katana sword is a direct.
I mean, Rick waking up in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Jacked it. But here's the thing too. I watched the first, like, I don't know, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 seasons of Walking Dead, something like that, 3 or 4, something like that, on a marathon one night, one day, excruciatingly hung over on my couch. And I got into it for a minute, but it got to the point where it was like, it got a little mundane to me. But I think 28 days later did it all the way right. You know what I mean? Like I think what Walking Dead was good. I think they took some cues from it in the show. But as good as The Walking Dead was, because I think it was a good show. I just got a little over it. But I think still 28 days later is just a fucking, like, stands alone, like, way better to me. Like, all the way. What do you feel? Is that even a good comparison? Because how many episodes there actually are of The Walking Dead?
Well, I would just say like the first season.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take that. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Like, zombie movies to me are always 50-50. There's some that I think are great, and some I think are just corny as fuck. Like, or just like the scenes are just too repetitive. You know what I mean? And obviously, like, there's no zombies or there are zombies. I mean, that's really the concept of every one of them. And either you're running or you're all right for a second. I get that. But there's some of them that do it right and some of them that don't. You know what I mean? And this one, too, has, like, such a, to me, like a realistic, to me, like, view of how it could be. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like The Road. You know what I mean? You ever seen The Road?
Yeah.
Like that to me, like that movie's just a depressing, just marathon.
Yeah, that's the whole. Have you read the book?
No, come on, look at me, guy. I look like a big reader.
Yeah, that is very true. No, you talking about the movie, man? The movie is like a quarter of what the book is.
I heard
that.
that.
I thought I was in a very depressive state after I read the book. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking terrible. Why did I do this to myself?
Yeah. Like, honestly, if I never see the movie The Road again, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But it's worth the watch the first time. Yeah. Because, bro, it does not really pretty up anything.
No, it doesn't pull any punches. I mean, it lets you know how truly gritty it is.
Yeah, and that, to me, this movie did a very good job of that as well, I thought. Not as gritty, I don't think, as The Road, but I still think they did a great job doing, like, I mean, think about this dynamic. And then, like I said, I mean, one thing after a fucking another, And, like, the heart jerker here is the dad. And if you think about it, man, he was solid as fuck. And then the one time he kind of lost his shit a little bit, that's all it took. That is all it took. You know what I mean?
And it was heartbreaking, whenever he got that blood in his eye.
Oh, it was devastating.
Dude, I know we're jumping, like, way ahead, but, like, when he got the blood in his eye, like, he was just like, he started telling his daughter to get back. And while he was telling her to get back, he was calling for someone else to come kill him and telling her, like, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'll always be, like, trying to reassure her while also trying to take care of himself to where he would not hurt her.
Yeah.
Like, that shows you the affection and, like, talking about how solid he was as a parent. He was a rock star of a character.
Oh, dude. I wish I knew the guy's name. I'm going to look it up here in a second. But the guy's an awesome actor all the way around. Everything he's in, he does pretty good in. But, dude, that scene was fucking devastating. You know what I mean?
Heart-wrenching.
Bro, it's like, man, they made it to where he wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? Then he gets there, he's disappointed as fuck because it seemed like it's the same old story. And then, oh man, when he got that shit in his eye,
And
you
once
just
you
knew.
and once you knew, like, and it's like we as the audience, like we knew everything he went through in order to get to the final point. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
the almost end. And then, and as we watch that shit get into his eye, we all sitting there like, oh, it's over. It's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
He's
over.
done.
We automatically know. And the thing is, man, yeah. No, yeah. They
It was
do that
rough.
shit on purpose.
It's a rough fucking scene, that's for sure. That is for sure. And the wildest thing is, at the end of that scene, you think
Heartbreaking.
there for a second that it really sucks because it looks like he got that shit in his eye minutes before he figured out that there actually was help there.
Yeah.
And that was what I was like, fuck, man. Like, they did all that. He got there to get him safe. He's pissed they ain't there, and then they are there.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? You know what it reminded me of? What's that movie? The Mist?
Oh, you
That
talk
ending
about one of
scene?
the best fucking plot twists at the very end. Oh
Oh,
my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
we
yeah.
won't. We won't. Well, you can't really spoil it. It's old as fuck. But we won't speak on too much because we probably end up doing that movie on here. But
I would love to do that movie.
that
yeah,
that
you
moment
got
right
to
there,
because
when the
hey,
soldiers came out, that's exactly what it reminded me of. I was like, holy fuck! Like, you
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, man, you were fucking there, bro. You were there. You know, like son of a bitch. Oh, but as we've seen in this movie, that wasn't exactly the case. Now, was it?
No.
Now, the shit with these fucking soldiers. This right here is, to me, one of the most scariest scenarios in the movie because I know that in real world situations, oh, that's exactly where motherfuckers' heads are going. If
oh,
they
even worse.
have it set up like that, and there's only 2 females in the whole mother, oh, I guarantee
Oh yeah.
that's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Even
That's it.
worse.
Go ahead, Kurt.
No, I'm just saying I'm agreeing, and I say, I I say um, anything that you see on movies that humans are capable of, horrific acts, uh, times it by 3. Like
Oh yeah.
if,
Or
if
oh
you
yeah.
see like war movies, like I always say, like Hamburger Hill. This Hamburger Hill doesn't even fucking cut. Doesn't even like even it doesn't even match the full scope or gravity of the whole situation. You can try like
With how
just like
brutal
you
war is.
can
I mean,
the movie that portrays the storming of Normandy. It was like, come on,
Saving
dude.
Private
They're like,
Ryan.
well,
That's what I was Saving
Saving
Private
Private
Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan. As horrible as the beginning scenes is, you absolutely know it was absolutely worse.
Oh, it's 10 times worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
So and like honestly, in this movie, more than likely the military cats pop the main character, snatch the chicks, and that's the end of the movie.
But
Well,
what was
that's what I kind of my heart stance on this is I actually sympathize with the military or the soldiers in general, because you got to look at where their mindset is on this. They were rushed into a position that they didn't know anything about. Their command didn't know anything about. They saw all this violence going on. They were probably told to kill humans, and they didn't. And they just started seeing these humans be extremely violent. So
Mhm.
they've been dealing with this for weeks. Like just it's their minds and their understanding of reality is extremely warped,
Yeah.
and they are doing what they think is best for, because as far as they know, they're some of the last humans alive. So they're doing what they think is best for humanity as a whole. So I'm not saying it's right, and I agree with them, but I'm saying I understand their mindset on it. That's
Yeah,
why I
well,
give
that's what
them
I'm
the
saying.
sympathy.
That's what brought it. Like I said, that's what kind of gave it to me like a real realistic tone, because
Yeah.
I can see how cats would be like, "Well, we're the last guard." You know what I mean? We got to keep humanity going. If we've got females, we got to procreate. And plus, I mean, honestly, too, they probably just want to get freaky still. Like they want to die without still tapping
I mean,
something. You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
stress relief.
But at the same time, like I
But do
said,
you
dude,
think
like
there's
brings it real to me because I mean people's heads are got to be in so many different fucked up places. Like when you think about society's over, it's just me, and when I die, that's it. Like where the fuck is your head? Like the craziest of the crazy shit's probably going to come to the forefront of your brain. Like if you were like on the verge of killing people in real life, oh, you probably a menace in this world. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah. The true
Because
psychopaths will show up. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna fire that. I mean, why wouldn't it? Because like you ain't got nothing really to look forward to. Getting your face eaten off or not, that's basically it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well,
Uh,
you also see the intelligence of their commander, uh, where the clip you just saw, that one, he has that guy chained up, but because he wants to watch and study how these things are, so he can
yeah,
become more efficient at killing them. He doesn't know how long they survive, how long they can go without eating, all this different type of stuff. He's using it as an experiment. And it's even worse that he's so calmly talking about it after it was one of his friends that he served with. He's seeing this. That's what makes it really, really creepy and disturbing is that he's so easily able to talk about it, and he kind of looks on it in a almost in a fonding manner. It it's it's truly like a psychopath. He was pushed into that, but you can see where he's broken.
where he
Is
yeah,
snapped? Yeah,
yeah,
where he snapped. Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's another good red flag of where they are mentally with that.
And I like that thing when he was talking about that though. I did like what he said there. He's like, plus, he's like, I want to see how long it takes for them to starve. I was like,
Yeah,
that actually could be some very handy knowledge. You know what
yeah.
I'm
Like
saying?
he's calculating. He's calculated and cold. And
Yeah.
a human that is driven and it has the mindset of that, that is a very powerful and dangerous person.
And you know what's wild to me? Think about the name of the movie, 28 Days Later. So within probably by this time, I mean, I guess if it's 28 days later when he wakes up, then through the duration of the movie, what are you talking about, a month?
Mhm.
Like maybe a month and a half?
How
Well,
quickly
how
civilization
quick
collapsed.
motherfuckers' minds switch from you're human and you ain't, and we got to just snatch these chicks and do what we got to do to I'll kill whoever. I mean, a month maybe. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
look at this past pandemic. People
shit.
thought they wouldn't be able to wipe their asses within 24 hours, and goddamn, like 72 hours, the toilet paper companies couldn't keep up with demand.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
There
yeah. Yeah.
were
Yeah.
there were
I've
people
heard. I heard
rationing out
something.
shit paper.
I heard somebody say something one time. I don't know where they did the study or got it from, but I think they said like when society, like if society was to crash, you only got like a matter of days before it's just completely just fucked upside down. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like a month is like it's already like Mad Max out this bitch. You know what I mean? By the time a month goes by, it's like a matter of weeks, and people are just like all civilities out the window, all fucking helping your neighbor. It's just like fucking Katie bar the door, everybody's fucking ass is on fire. We gotta go. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's week, like days, mate. Like that's nuts.
Well, that's why I say, man, you should have anywhere between like a month to 3 months worth of food, generally canned or something, or even some type of dry good that you can ration out and keep yourself going for at least a month to 3 months. Because
Yeah.
if shit does hit the fan, you know, where are you going to get your food? Where are you going to get your water? Where are you going to get your basic medical supplies?
That is what I laughed a lot about at the beginning of the pandemic. Meat, raw meat, and toilet paper was gone from the store. I'm like, word. So you just worried about grilling and shitting, huh?
Yeah.
Like, all right. Well,
See me cracking open a fucking can of corn and eating it with a fork.
yeah. Well, the
That's
funny
my
thing is,
meal
like
for
I
the
said,
day.
I seen the whole meat freezer gone. Done.
Yeah.
I go down the soup section, soups, chilies, green beans,
Everything you
still
wanted.
there. I was like, well, maybe not for everybody, but it's probably gonna be easier than I thought for me.
Oh yeah,
because you dumb shits are buying pork chops.
dude. No, what was it? You're also leaving out one very important thing as well that went missing.
What's that?
Ramen.
Oh,
All the ramen, like people went insane for the
yeah,
ramen.
that is true. Yeah, fucking ramen. Oh yeah, I'd much rather just have a fucking stockpile of raviolis and beef stew.
Yeah, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. It's like someone trying to take my can of ravioli, they're getting fucking popped.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
And that's the funny thing too, even ramen. Yeah, you might be able to take some of your drinking water and leave it in there long enough to soften up, but more than likely you're gonna be eating that shit like a fucking big ass cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motherfuckers are nuts. Well, I don't know what happened to Ert. He might jump in, he might jump out. But hell, while we got a little segue, what are we, an hour in? I say we can probably wrap this thing here in short order, but I'll just go ahead and run a little ad ski real quick, pay a couple bills, and we'll just get right back in. So for this one, we just dropped it first time Tuesday. So now here on Blurred Minds Media, starting every Tuesday at 8, we have a comedy show. It's we're paying homage to the shock jocks of the day, of back in the day. Opie and Anthony, starring Buck Wild, 90s Howard Stern. I would say the originator, Petey Green. So that's pretty much what we're trying to create. We're putting our own spin on it. We got a panel. We bring up whoever wants to come on. We bring up stand-up comedians. We throw out a topic and we just spitball it and just try to say the most ignorant, hilarious shit and have people cutting up, you know? So we'll see how it goes. But for that, we're calling it the Five Finger Fiasco. Like I said, you can check that show out Tuesday nights at 8. So where were we, my guy? Where were we? We were to the soldiers.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, folks, for anybody who's really, really in knowledge of this movie. We definitely jumped around a little bit, but hey, it'll be okay. So the thing about the soldiers, and like you said, where he was studying one of his fellow comrades, and they decided that they wanted to keep the women for themselves for procreation purposes. They exiled our guy Jimmy, the main character. Took him out to the woods and was going to kill him, but he ended up sneaking loose. And comes back. The funny thing is, I was thinking about this too. I was like, you know, armored fortress, guns everywhere. Seem to have it pretty locked down as far as the infected people go. How do you really infiltrate it and fuck them up? Well, that poor fella on the chain. Jimmy's genius idea to turn him loose on the rest of the soldiers. And as Derek had spoke about at the beginning of the show, this is when it really starts to ramp up in this movie. So when all this was going down, you saw kind of Jimmy's moves and what he was out there doing, you know. And Jimmy really comes into his own insanity and murderous part of his body on this one, because he was always kind of timid, a little bit, you know, kind of just like the chicken of the group. Not really the chicken, but you know, like he really wasn't like the most go after type of fellow, you know. But once they exile him, once he understands what the two women he's been riding around with, well, the one woman and the child, let's not get it twisted, there was a child, so that makes the soldiers even a little bit more weirder, but I understand. But he decides to fucking lose it. you know, and he's going after it, and he releases the Kraken. So when you're seeing all this unfold and you're seeing the new Jimmy, you know, you seen he done fucking lost his marbles, and this everything kind of that plays this whole scene out. What are you thinking, Derek? How do you feel about it? You like it? You love it? You think it's some wild shit? I mean, what do you think when you're watching it?
I honestly think that it's him becoming part of his reality. He
Yeah,
is
good way to put it.
finally letting the reality sink in, and he's getting that survival aspect. He's learned how to live in the reality of the world. So that's where I see that. Like he seen all this brutal carnage, like ruthlessness, and he finally accepted it as like that's what he needs to be.
Yeah,
And
that's like
quick fact, you know the guy that plays him, it's Cillian Murphy, the guy that's on Peaky Blinders.
yeah.
So yeah, that just shows you the range of that character's acting skill. He's on quite a bit of other stuff, you know, like
Yeah, he's in what is he?
Scarecrow.
He's in the first Christian Bale Batman's. He's
Yeah, the Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also in what is the Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he's like dreams inside of dreams?
Inception.
Inception. He's in Inception as well.
Another movie we'll have to address on here sometime because that movie that's pretty fucking wild concept too for a movie, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So yeah, so Jimmy gets his payback pretty much by releasing the infected soldier that they had captured. And they seem to get away. But I love this scene right here because it shows that Jimmy's, like you said, he's coming into his own. He was kind of timid, you know, at the beginning. I mean, it's hard to say how you would be during a fucking shit show like this.
Yeah.
But that scene is so dope when he finally gets in there and he actually, you know, saves the female character. He goes so off that she almost chops his fucking head off because she can't believe that it's actually him. He's got to have this infected rage fit as well because he was on such a murderous run when he ran through that fucking house and everything he did. And I thought that was a dope thing because, like I said, like we've seen it, like the flip in him in the scenes with him in it, but it was cool to show that the character even too. She was like, oh, there's no fucking way this is the same dude. Like, you just stuck your fucking thumbs to this guy's eyeball sockets. You know what I mean? Like, even the little girl, when she came in, she smashed the glass on his head because he thought she was eating the other girl.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant acting and brilliant, you know, way to cut that scene. You know, because she could have dropped the knife, hugged him, romance, gone with the wind shit. But even in that, it's so intense, and he killed the dude in such an intense way that she was like, you got to have the shit. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be fucked up. So
like she definitely did take a second there and try to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, to me, like I said, I think that shows the brilliance of his character and, like, they're acting and putting that in the scene because, like I said, it made it even feel more like, even though we've seen kind of the switch in him, it just brought it all the way home. Like, yeah, he's definitely like Super Saiyan right now. You know what I mean? He's definitely leveled up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that to me was dope. What do you think about? All right, so you know they do that. Let's see here. They run off, and then they get into the taxi cab, but come to find out, like the what would you call him, the general at that point?
he was just pretty much like the squad commander.
Squad commander. Okay, squad commander. He's in the car waiting, shoots Jimmy, but then the little girl gets hurt. This is one of the dopest moves I've ever seen, where she's in the cab, where she's got the plexiglass barrier between her and the back seat, backs him in to where the fucking infected are, and they drag him out the back fucking window.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking slick. You know, I like the way they did that.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Do you feel like they ended that, you know, like, well, as far as that goes? I mean, do you think it was like a rush?
I think it did. Like, it kind of like how you were saying, she kind of got her revenge, but she allowed it to allowed for the circumstances of the situation to take their toll and take care of him. Like, she didn't outright kill him, but she also, in no way, shape, or form, tried to save him.
No. And I love the fact that if any of the infected was going to get him, it was the one that he had chained up.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, like justice served, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was a hell of a way to end it. What do you think about the ending? You know, now they're out. They got some little cottage. They're a family now. They all probably have a shower. They probably all don't smell like fucking fermented cheese and ass anymore. You know, they probably figured that out by now. Because you got to think of it. That's what I always think about movies like this. You got to think about the scenes and all the people and no running water. And like, these motherfuckers got to stink. Like, everybody's got to smell like hot, wide open ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way around it. I mean, honestly, if I get the gel deodorant instead of the white powdery, my arms smell like I've been in a zombie apocalypse before I get off work.
Yeah.
The gel shit does not touch my BO at all. Like, I've tried it. Like, oh, this is so nice and like feels all nice and like, ooh, it's like refreshing. 5 minutes later, I smell like I've been fucking walking through the Sahara. So I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's a good thing, you know, but oh shit, look at here.
Yeah, I just saw him pop up a minute ago.
What's happening, man?
Oh shit. What's good, fellas? What y'all doing?
You know, we're done this 28 days later, about to actually we kind of get into the rapping end of it. But
there was a rap in it? I don't remember no rapping.
You don't remember, dude? That's how he got away from the zombies. He spit a hot 16.
Oh, nah.
He put on some bars.
I sat through both of them to the sequel 28 days later. So, and I only watched the sequel because I sat through the first one. It's like Jay, while you play poker, what they call it, being pot committed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, real quick, you know, as a zombie genre junkie, I mean, I do appreciate that at least they try to do something different. One with the faster, more, you know what I'm saying, athletic zombies. You know what I'm saying? We've been seeing a lot more of that since then. We talk about that, I Am Legend. You know what I'm saying? So I like that they took some classic zombie tropes and try to, you know what I'm saying, try to do their own thing with it. I just felt the story was it just moved slow, and I didn't really care about anybody in the movie. The main characters, you know. Plus, it's England. As far as I'm concerned, they could have all got ate up. Like, fuck England. God save the queen, my ass, tea and crumpet eating ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But
fair enough, right?
Fuck England. Like, England kills me. They talk so much shit. It's like, you know, if it wasn't
honestly, if a zombie apocalypse only broke out in Sweden, I wouldn't be too mad, just because their accent just always just makes me laugh my ass off. I'm like,
see,
God,
if that happened in
Sweden, stop talking like that, huh? That seems
if
like
if that happened in Sweden, we got two problems. One, where we gonna get our Swiss Miss Cocoa from? And two, where we gonna get our big titty blind white girls from? I mean, fuck, dude. You know?
It is true, but every time they talk, I cannot take them serious. Like, if there's like a real Swedish gangster like in my face, and like depending on what I said he was gonna shoot me, he'd shoot me because I would laugh. I couldn't take him serious.
They have Swedish gangsters. I'm a Swedish gangster. I'm so hard to die. Nah, I don't think they got no sweetest gangsters, bro. Like,
I'm like, I knew when I heard your clogs, I should have got out of the fucking way. I knew it. I fucking knew.
but like I said, between the original and the sequel, you know what I'm saying? They try to do some new things with some classic zombie tropes. So from that, I appreciated it. And I can't front. You know, it had a big budget feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the production, it didn't look like I didn't feel like I was watching some shitty zombie movie on fucking Sci-Fi Network. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all know I'm really obsessed with stuff like direct and the cinematography and some of the camera angles. So I mean, oh, you made it? All right, see you Saturday, bro. But I mean, overall, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But like I said, I mean, I watched the original, so I had to watch the sequel. I'm pot committed.
Well, we're not really even talking about 28 weeks later. 28 weeks later is dicey at best.
I don't think I've ever watched that one.
I would watch it just to get a feel for it. Like, it's nowhere near as good as 28 Days Later.
Yeah. Well, Dirk, you seen both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the big differences between 28 Days and then as far as the sequel, as far as later, it seems like 28 Days, it was more of an isolated story that focused on, you know what I'm saying? And it seems like 28 Days Later, I mean, which you got to follow the rules of the sequel. You got to make it bigger. But it seems like the second one, you know what I'm saying, they introduced more elements as far as like the government and kind of more how it was affecting the masses.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt the first one was just more, which I'm not saying that's a lot of bad idea. I liked in the one they tried to focus and isolate more on just a particular character and group. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the first one you got to follow by this way. It's the main character waking up and dealing with the shock. It's following his story. It focuses a little bit on, you know, the son or the father and daughter, and then the girl that he meets, and then it's all going through his perspective, and kind of like how we said, like from the beginning, he didn't know how to do this because he's still a civilized individual, but by the end of it, he's running around in his fucking, you know, skivvies with a piece of pipe, shoving his fingers into other guys' faces. I mean, I mean, look at that picture. It is a massive difference.
Well, yeah, because at the beginning, like you said, he's definitely more timid and reserved.
Yeah,
I think that's the right term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you said, he does go through this metamorphosis. Yeah. You know, he's about what's the term I'm looking for, fellas? Help me out. Character evolution.
Yeah.
You know,
like he's the same
character development.
Yeah, I'm saying, he's the same person, but when you talk about him in the beginning, and then the guy we see toward the end, it's two different people. You know, he's totally changed. And yes, I am drinking my after work drink. You already know.
You gotta get some.
So
gotta hop on.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're a fan of the zombie movies. You said this one was a little slow for you. You didn't love it. So what, as far as what zombie movie would you say that you like better than this? I mean, where's your ranking? Like, what's a better zombie movie than this one? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, you got to start with the original, man. George Romero, the whole Dead trilogy. You got to start there. You know what I'm saying?
I'd have to agree with that. That's like.
I like the 2000, I think it was 06, 07 remake of, I think it was Dawn of the Dead. Okay, the one with Ving Rhames. That's the one where they were trapped.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a remake of the second Romero film in that original trilogy. I mean, of course, you know, the way the guy wakes up in 28 Days Later is so weird because you flash forward to 09 and the first episode of Walking Dead and Rick's character waking up.
Yep.
Well, that's what we were talking about at the beginning of this. Was I feel like The Walking Dead ripped a ton of stuff from 28 Days Later.
Well, their main makeup effects guy, look him up. It's got a shitload of credits. Hollywood. Greg Nicotero. Okay. So when I think about, like I said, I noticed that, like, I still will never forget the first episode of Walking Dead, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the beginning of 28 Days. I mean, the whole Rick waking up and it's a zombie apocalypse. Look, y'all, I gotta hop off. My ride done pulled up. I'm off work. Off tomorrow. Jay Wall, you already know what it is. All right. So everybody be good. You know, I'm gonna watch the replay. All right. I might have to revisit 28 Days. You know what I'm saying? But gotta hop off. Jay Wall, I'm gonna probably give you a call when I get in tonight. All right. Give me about a half hour or so. Derek, good seeing you as always.
You too, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
And everybody know, and if you don't know, Blur Minds Media, we still the new faction, bitch. Like, keep being mad about it. We cool with that. So, all right, fellas.
Absolutely cool with that.
All right, be good, fellas. Y'all sign off, man. I'm gonna check out later. Jay Wall, I'm gonna hit you in about an hour. Within the hour.
That's cool.
All right.
Later, man. And that is our guy, Chris, aka Apocalypse. You can see him. Well, you can see him on damn near every show we do, as long as he's got time to jump on there. But he is the host of Monday Night Mayhem, 80s, 90s wrestling, nostalgia, tribute, history lesson show. So check him out on Monday nights. So we heard Chris's take. Irk said he loved it. I don't know where he went, but he's here or there. As far as zombie movies, as far as this movie, where are you ranking it, my friend?
Man, it will get one of these ranks that I'd say throughout the future and history of this show, it is getting a solid 10.
Nice.
100% 10. It is, I mean, something stated on the last show and this show it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time, and it has been the last horror movie, especially within the, I guess, semi-modern era, that has truly terrified me. It made me feel fear, and it's, to this day, like, just thinking about it, it reverberates in such a way that it shows so human nature, and how violent and how bad it can get, and then how just a simple thing can change the world, and how real that virus is. Because, like I said, all it is an amped up rabies virus. And
right.
It is truly a psychological and visual scary movie. So 100% 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And like I said, when I first seen this, I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
So I thought it was slow, and I didn't really pay much mind to it. I mean, there's some crazy scenes. I remember the blood in the eye scene vividly, even just thinking, every time I would think about this, actually, it's exactly where my mind would go, because that's, even if I thought it was slow, it's a devastating scene.
Yeah.
I watched it again tonight, and I can't shake the thought now, that I think I was just too fucking stupid the first time I watched it to appreciate it and understand what was going on. Because I've noticed that the older I get, I feel like I get a little bit smarter. Not much. I'm not gonna exaggerate at all. But I feel like at 34, I'm smarter than I was at 16.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, yeah, that seems to be what's supposed to happen. But, oh, trust me. I've met people way older than me.
Yeah.
That still can't put it together. So, but now I watched it. I've seen the whole thing. And like what Derek said, man, it's very realistic feeling. Now, like Irk said, I'm sure it's like the actual reality of being in that is magnified by 1,000,000. But for a movie and a zombie movie, because a lot of the zombie movies, even though some of them were like kind of spoofy, funny, make fun of them.
Yeah.
But even the ones that were serious, to me, before this one, they still just didn't seem that real. You know what I mean? Like zombies, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, to me, this one felt like it kind of what it would feel like to be in that. And like he said, like a souped up rabies virus isn't that far off from probably the rabies virus.
Yeah.
We know that there's labs all over the fucking globe that do all kind of shit with viruses. We've figured it out over the past couple of years. So that's terrifying. And just seeing like how it played out, it was the first they just thought they were riots. They said they were just riots would break out. Yeah. And the next thing you know, the riots were breaking out everywhere, and people started getting infected. And they was on the TV. Next thing you know, the TV's off, and just the build. This is how they kind of showed the build up to where they ended up in that time period. But then you build up from that time period through them meeting each other, them like they're on a journey to get to a destination. They get there, and then as soon as they get there, shit goes left in a hurry. And the build up, like I said, like usually like a climax in the movie is about toward the middle. I feel like this one was toward the tail end, but they ramped everything up to it so well. I mean, I can't find any fucking thing wrong with it.
Yeah, like
as far as a zombie apocalyptic movie that will scare you and make you think about some shit and watch it, and I can't find anything wrong with it. And I love the soldier that wasn't with the other guy's shit. What he told him, he said, "This is just an island. What if they just quarantined off the island and there's other places that don't even have this shit somewhere?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And think about that. Think about that scenario. What if something did break out on an island somewhere, or somewhere that they could contain it? And all those people, they just fuck them, like, whatever. But the rest of the world's still conducting business. But you're in this spot, it's zombie apocalypse, end of days shit. And right across the fucking ocean, girls are getting beads to show their tits in Mardi Gras, and vacations are happening. People are going to work and going to kids' soccer games, and this life is normal. Yeah. Like, how fucking crazy is that concept to think about? And thinking about this world and just what we just went through, the small whatever, not gonna say that wouldn't happen if they could control it like that. I could see them absolutely quarantining just a whole motherfucking country, because, like, fuck it, y'all are fucked, but the rest of us are all right. So y'all stay there and deal with it. And we wouldn't even put it on the news. Like, we wouldn't even know. We'd be watching basketball, football, regular shit. Like, wouldn't even know nothing about it probably. Wouldn't even tell us. All the while, that other country just racked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just getting their shit kicked in.
Oh, like, the concept is wild. I think the way they did it was great. I think they really kind of touched on how fragile really the human society is. And this whole, like, getting along and coexisting seems to be the tone in these movies like this. Is when everything's good, we can coexist. When times get tough and shit gets crazy, fuck everybody else. I used to always think, like, what if just everybody that used to work, like, well, not everybody, I guess, but as many people as you could get, they used to work like the power plant. Yeah. And say something like this happened. Couldn't we just go back and fire it up and, like, no, you're not getting paid, but everybody still has electric? I think that would count for something in the scenario like this. But the funny thing is, I don't think that ever touches anybody's mind when they think about shit like this.
Oh, no, they're worried about themselves.
Who's the first to Kroger's and who's the first to their fucking basement? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nuts that's exactly. And here's my thing. Is that really the human condition?
Yeah.
Or is that programmed in us from shit like this, watching these movies, just seeing it repeatedly?
No, that's human nature, bro. I mean? That's just that is human nature. It's survivability. It's people doing what they need to do out of fear to survive. What they think they need to do out of fear to survive.
Yeah.
That is normal.
That's the craziest thing about it. Like this, like shit like this is the normal human response.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, I think everybody needs to jump on my bandwagon. I got to be honest. If shit goes wrong, how about this? Let's just take half of whoever's left to the power plant, half of them to the water plant, and let's have some lights.
Start
and
rebuilding.
It's a couple showers because we're all going to smell like hot ass. How about that?
Yeah.
Can we do that? You know? No. Everybody's gonna be like, "Fuck you. We'll kill you first." That's an awful idea. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We want your canned goods. Fuck your water. It's wild, man. The human condition. It's a crazy thing. Any final thoughts on this? Well, you ranked it a 10. I said I can't find nothing wrong with it. So if I can't find nothing wrong with it, I'm gonna give it a 10 as well. I mean, I can't say one thing that I didn't like and appreciate about this movie. Now, other than the fact that when I cut it off, I mean, I'm glad, things worked out, but I still kind of felt like, fuck, like, didn't feel too happy. I mean, I'm glad they made it, and that's nice, but it's still it's so, like, kind of realistic and gloomy that when I cut it off, I just made me like, I wasn't depressed, but I was just like, damn. You know what I mean? Like
that's just wild.
Yeah, that absolutely could happen is kind of what I'm thinking. Like, fuck, like that really probably, and like Eric said, I'm sure it looks a million times worse when you're in it, but for a movie, it's still pretty fucking shitty. I mean, not in the best way possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The movie's not shitty. The scenario, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, any closing on this?
Nah, man, that's pretty much it. Like, it's just a very well done movie. I mean,
yeah. My hats off to all the actors, and I think everybody did a great job. I mean, for everybody that had talking and scenes in it, it wasn't just drooling at the mouth of blood and eating people.
Yeah,
and they did good too. But yeah, the actors, I don't know, man. Like I said, I mean, when it comes to zombie movies, I think some of them are corny, some of them are unrealistic, and honestly, I think this one kind of set the tone for an I Am Legend, a World War Z, things like that. You know what I mean? I think it kind of set the tone. And honestly, to me, I think if you're going to do a zombie movie, you do it as realistic as possible, a la this movie, or you go completely stupid and you go, fuck. Woody Harrelson. Why am I drawing a blank? Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland.
I say you go completely just hilariously ridiculous with it. Like, obviously, this is a comedy, not a horror type ridiculous. And I appreciate it because I love Zombieland. But to me, it's a comedy. It's not a horror to me.
Yeah.
I laughed the whole movie. But I laughed a lot during Don't Look Up, and come to find out I'm the only one who thought that was a comedy. So, maybe Zombieland's a fucking terrifying movie to some people. But I laughed my ass off. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I just I enjoyed the hell out of it. That's pretty much it. I was going back to really, really liking it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I mean, shit, 2 10 out of 10s. I think Apocalypse would differ, but different strokes for different folks. He likes movies that were made when the fucking Mayflower was still afloat. I can't fault him for that. He's an old fucker, but nevertheless, that's where we're at with it. That's our wrap. That's our take on 28 Days Later. Love it, like it, hate it. We don't give a fuck. I mean, comment. But other than that, next week, I think if we're going to stay with the schedule we laid out, season 1, episode 2, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to go with it, or do you want to throw out another movie?
Man, we can go with season 2 or season 1, episode 2. I'm down with that.
All right. So I guess we'll try to stick to that, folks. So every other week we will do our first series review, and then we'll pick a movie for that. So we'll let you know what movie we're doing at the end of that show next week.
Yep.
So other than that, I think we said it all. We've done it all. We let you know how we feel. We actually even got like some alternate opinions,
Yeah,
some
I
views.
mean, I think that's probably the biggest panel we've had so far. I mean, we had 4 people in here.
Hell yeah. And it's always nice, to have what I call him, the Blurred Minds Media Abbott, Irk the Nerve show up on any show. I always love having him. Apocalypse, he usually chimes in toward the tail end of every show, so I like to get his little wrap up real quick before he gets home. So I think we did it big. So, folks, you can see, I guess the next thing you'll see on Blurred Minds Media, it is Thursday. So Sunday night at 9 is the new time. Shop Talk Sports, open discussion from any sports that happened during the week. The link is always in the comments section. Feel free to chime in, represent your team, talk shit on our team. You think the host is full of shit, let him know. And that's just how we're going to do it. Outside of that, we will come right back to you with another week of Blurred Minds Mania. So for that, I'm Jay Wall the Jerk. That's my guy, Derek. We getting the hell out of here. Later.